and a happy first day of July 2019, everybody. Hot, 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 hot. Yeah, we got all kind of things going on today. Another chance of severe weather in places, and disturbance number one in the Eastern Pacific has, as of yesterday, I watched it happen, turned into a tropical storm. The name of it is Barbara. It looks like Barbara could turn into a major hurricane with winds of 120 miles per hour. Also, disturbance number two is looking pretty good, like it's going to strengthen also. I'll have all of this and much, much more in just a few moments. First, what are we looking at here? The 4th of July maximum temperature forecast. Everybody's going to be out and about, and you're going to have a lot of cookouts and do a lot of things. This is what your temperature should look like on the 4th of July. 90s in Florida, of course. Look there in the panhandle there, 97. 97 in Georgia, South Carolina. Some of these temperatures here are going to feel like 100 to 115 degrees, folks. Now, look at this. This is the regular temperatures now over in Arizona, 107. Parts of California, 108. Hot, hot, hot all the way across. Even up in Maine, 86 degrees. And in Vermont, New Hampshire, you guys are going to be in the 80s and 90s. Look at New York in the around the lower 90 mark, covering all the way from Massachusetts to moving down to Connecticut, all around New Jersey, southern New Jersey around 91, northern New Jersey around 89. The coolest spot you're going to see on the 4th will be, of course, out in the west. Now, it's looking like some of the lower temperatures are going to be in Washington State, and that's western Washington State. You come over to the eastern side, you're going to be 81, and that one little segment there is 87 degrees. Checking out Idaho for the most part. It's going to be in the 80s. You can see what it's looking like here. We'll check out and see what the cooler temperatures for the nighttime of July 4th will be like. It's not going to cool off a whole lot for the 4th of July night either, folks. Should be kind of pleasant for firework activity, though. It should be mostly from the mid to lower 70s everywhere you see in the yellow. 77 here in North Carolina, 79 up here where I live. Good Lord, that's going to be almost 80. Going to be a hot night. Now, of course, these might fall a little during the nighttime, but it's not going to be anything drastic. Up in Maine, northern Maine, 59, southern Maine, 63. Texas, you see your temperatures right in here. A little bit cooler as we move across the map out into the west. Oregon on the coast, you got 53, 54. And it looks like Oregon and the mountainous areas of California, you're 45 and 46, 47 over here in Montana. For the state of Idaho, nighttime lows in the lower 50s. When you get right around Boise and in this area, it's going to be in the upper 50s, from 57, probably 58 degrees for your lows on July 4th. I've got this and a whole lot more coming up on. Now, as we're talking about July 4th, will it rain? Who knows, folks? Just because you got small, slim chances over in the western sections here, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You could have a splash and dash shower come up, okay? Greatest chance of rain looking like right now, though, is going to be up in Indiana, parts of Ohio. You guys have a 80% chance of rain. And it's kind of high also as you go up into Wisconsin, this little section of Minnesota down into Iowa, a great portion of Illinois, also some of West Virginia. I would count the whole state of West Virginia 63 to 70%. You see where the greens are. The blues are at 60% or higher everywhere in these areas up here. you're going to have a better chance of some rain happening. Now, you could have splash and dash showers occur anywhere in here. Don't rule it out. Even over here, where it's like 1 to 10% chance. It is summertime, folks, and these things do happen. But this is a general outlook if you've got any outdoor activities planned. Now, the new update for the entire month of July. I know a lot of people's wanting to know what July is going to look like. This is the temperature map. It was updated yesterday for this month. Looking like, whoa, poor Alaska, way above average heat. Heat, hot. All of Alaska is going to be terribly hot. Right along that western coast of Canada, the northwestern coast of Canada, you're going to be extremely hot. Also, right down in here for this little portion of Canada as it moves into Washington State, above average high temperatures. Everything in brown is above average, going to be hot temperatures, more than you're used to. Cold spots looking like bullseye right in the middle of the lower 48 with Kansas, Nebraska, parts of Oklahoma, some of Arkansas. This is below your average temperatures. Everybody else is looking pretty equal chances, and mostly normal temperatures should be going on for the month of July. And when we look at the temperatures, not the temperatures, the rain, the precipitation, I'm sorry folks, the precipitation well below for Alaska. They're just going to be hot, and no rain in sight. Well below for a lot of the entire state. That goes for Washington State and a portion of Oregon here. Well below what you should be getting. The above average rainfall right in the middle again, as you see right here. Rain, 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 and this is where the severe storms more than likely are going to pop up and maybe have hail and wind damage. We'll have to wait and see. Below average for most of North Carolina, all the way down south till you get to Texas. Also for portions of Arizona and California. And that's what the month of July is looking like, what should pan out for you. Now, as we take a look at the severe weather categorical map for today, July 1st, this is what it's looking like. Yes, we do have that chance of severe activity with wind and hail and heavy downpours of rain from portions of Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, the northern sections of Iowa, the southern sections of Minnesota, and western sections of Wisconsin. That's where you have the most enhanced, okay, at a number 2. Now, the marginal you see is a darker green, and the lighter for splash and dash showers are all over the lower 48 in the lighter green. Do not be surprised if you do not have some severe weather pop up as the day goes on, and the heat bills and the humidity factors combine in to make these situations happen. As we look at the tornado threat for today, the largest portion for that is at 2%. It reaches from South Dakota, parts of Iowa, southern Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Now, when we take a look at the wind outlook, greatest wind is from Colorado up to Wisconsin. That's 15%. With these storms, this is where the major storms are mostly forecast to happen for today, with a 5% out in parts of Oregon, and 5% goes from Montana all the way down and across up to Michigan and northern Illinois and Indiana. Checking out the hail. It's not as bad as it's been, so that's a good thing. Only 5% hail from Montana down to Colorado, and also parts of the northwestern corner of Nebraska moving up, or Kansas rather, moving up through Nebraska, then parts of South Dakota, Iowa, southern Minnesota, parts of northern Illinois, and parts of Wisconsin. Now let's check out the thunderstorm activity for today. You see where it's at. You know, if you live in these states where these storms could hatch up as the day goes on, though, you know how it is. It gets hotter and hotter. And the humidity, ooh-wee. I don't know about where some of you folks live, but where I live, you can take a shower, you can dry off. 5 minutes later, You don't even look like you had one. You look like you just stepped out of the shower. Now, these storms will increase up in Montana to a 40%, also in northern New Mexico and parts of Colorado at 40%, 40% chance in parts of Texas, moving up through Arkansas, Mississippi, a little bit of Alabama there, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, excuse me folks, I had to almost sneeze on you, and southern Illinois, and a little bit of Indiana. Everybody else got a 10%. The greatest chance of these severe thunderstorms looking like they're going to hatch up and spread in Montana, but down and right down in the bullseye again, as the other maps were showing, looking like from parts of Colorado, northwestern Kansas, right through the middle of Nebraska, up through South Dakota, and the southwestern section of Minnesota. That's where the 70% chances are. Everybody else at 40%. You will probably more than likely have some thunderstorms pop up today. If it's no more than just a splash and dash shower, everywhere you see 40 to 10% chance of something happening. Now, as we check out the tropical weather, yes, we do have Barbara. This is in the northeast Pacific. Nothing going on in the Atlantic right now. Nothing going on in the central Pacific. But Barbara, as of this morning, has 65 mile per hour winds. The minimum central pressure is 998 millibars. It's located, if you're tracking, 11.2 north, 115.8 west. It's moving west at 21 miles per hour. And folks, it looks like that Barbara is going to become a major hurricane within the next few days, with winds of 120 miles per hour before she runs into some weather that's going to cause her to start to dissipate. But right now she's moving west and her winds are 65 miles per hour. Now we do have this disturbance over here. This is a low pressure. It's expected to form later this week, several hundred miles south of the southern coast of Mexico. Conditions appear favorable for gradual development of this system while it moves west to west-northwest. In a couple of days it's 0, but in 5 days it's a 60% chance. A lot of people have asked me, what do you think is going to happen to us, Jewel? Well, you know, you can't really say. You have to wait for these things to materialize before you can get any grip on them at all. But with the conditions the way they are and the way that I look at things, and I use the sun a lot, I use the moon a lot, there is a chance. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't, but I think there might be a chance somewhere here in the Gulf, maybe around the Texas area, maybe around Louisiana, coming up mid to the latter part of next month. There may be a tropical system that forms. That's what it looks like to me. I hope it doesn't. We'll have to wait and see. We'll track Barbara right quick and look at the tracking map. Here she is this morning, right here at 2 a.m. This is where she was. She's going to turn into a hurricane today, trucking right along, and by Tuesday she should become a major hurricane, be a major hurricane Wednesday, then start to disintegrate just a little bit back to hurricane categories of 2 by Thursday and Friday and move on out. It depends on what the conditions are like as to how much this disintegrates later in the week. But before it's over, coming up, Barbara will be a major hurricane with winds of 120 miles per hour. So if there's any mariners out in the ocean over in this area, please don't go between these areas here, or you're going to get caught right in it. This is 20 north, 10 north, and you see the latitude and the longitude. Don't go out in this area fishing. We don't want any disasters to happen. So with that all said and done, everybody have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day. Watch out for the splash and dash showers and the severe thunderstorms that can pop up. They always can turn into something more than you might think. Enjoy your day. I love all of you, and I thank you for everything you do for me. Peace, love, and kindness to all. And thank you so much for watching and sharing.